So for this past sprint, I was continuing my work on the Google API and specifically on changing the location for the search. So you can see here, I have Azusa here in my type bar, and I'm pulling up museum results in LA, Southern California general area. So when I start to type here, you can see it kind of starts to do auto completion. So say I want to look up some places, look up some museums in New York. If I just start typing New York, it'll start giving you suggestions. The bug is that it's not a bug, but just the way I programmed it to get it for work for now. It's showing things named New York in the general area, so you have to keep on typing to actually get New York City. Okay, so let's do Manhattan. It's probably a freeway. You click it, and once you start to edit the search bar again, it'll start to give you museums in New York. So you can see Metropolitan Museum of Art, MoMA, click here. It'll get all the details and obviously be in New York. So yeah, that's working on the discovery screen. It also is working on the add new activity screen here. And so the styling is really messed up, but you can see here if I start to do like New York City, New York, you see the styling obviously is messed up, but if I start to do like Thai food or something like that, it will pull up some Thai food places in New York. Yeah, so that's basically all the things that I got working for this sprint. So here are my commits. I basically working on the same branch as before, displaying autocomplete results, kind of what you saw over here, the showing and hiding autocomplete results on the clicking of the objects to making sure that goes away, changing coordinates. So actually changing the longitude and latitude for the search API call on the discovery screen, doing basically the same thing on the new activity screen, and then just cleaning up some code here. So displaying autocomplete results, I basically had to create this component called location item, which is basically the auto completion that happens here. So each little thing here is a component item. Here I'm just handling the press. I'm taking in a props from the above, the higher up component. I'm returning just the description of the place and just doing some styling here. Changing some styling, and here is the input thing for like this little area, the text input there. So I was basically using this Google autocomplete npm package where you're able to basically handle the text input, and it has an activity loader when you're typing, so when it's actually doing the API call. And then here is when I display the location items, the component I made up on, and I like map through those results. I'm just doing some styling there. So basically the chunk of the work, showing, hiding, autocomplete recommendations on input, focus, and blur. I ended up changing this, but basically I wanted to make sure that this stuff went away if I clicked outside or if I clicked on an item. So yeah, you can see basically just a lot of the same stuff here. On focus, I'm setting this state to location and focus to true. And then when I click something, and when I go out of that, it should handle, set it to false. So each location item basically has this function passed into it, and that sets the state to false and basically hides it. And you can see here I have like if this dot location stays in focus, then display that. If it's not, obviously it won't display it. Yeah, changing coordinates functional on discovery screen. So basically I created this function called onPress in the discovery screen page, and what happens is it basically, sorry, just trying to, it was a while since I wrote this. So handle location suggestion press. So basically when you click one of these things, it's going to take in the location place ID given by each of these little results. And it's going to do a call to get the details, but it's only going to return the geometry, so basically the longitude and latitude, and that is where I set these longitude and latitude into the state, so the search longitude and latitude here, and that basically gets called back. So when you're doing, you're handling the search change over here, you're basically just reusing, it's resetting it here. Adding location functionality to add new screen, basically the same sort of chunk of work, just putting it on a different screen. I have to do a lot of different styling things to this one, but the code is the same. I just had to adjust things a little bit here and there because this page is structured differently. And just doing some code cleanup, so taking out some console logs and test things to make sure everything was working. And yeah, that's about it. So for the next sprint, the last sprint, I'm going to be doing a follow-up on location search. So basically just making some styling changes, lots of minor things, probably changing the font of that, and having this not go crazy every time you type stuff. So yeah, just doing some styling things on there, and next thing I'm going to be doing is adding the actual activities onto the plan card. So basically what that looks like is, right now we just have the Paint and Wine Night at Mancha and Sunset at Echo Park hard-coded in, and so we want to make sure that we have the actual names of the activities all in there. And yeah, that's it for this sprint video update.